It's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be recapping the American Express this past weekend, looking ahead to Tiger Week at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, and we'll also be taking some Twitter fan questions. So let's get into it. All right, welcome back. It's episode 12 of the podcast so far. We're all back at school now with Jeek being back in Boston, and it's definitely not golf weather in the Northeast, for sure.
No way.
It's been down here. It's been like all week. It was like 70s.
Yeah, no, we've had about, if I had to guess, like a foot and a half of snow this weekend at least.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like golf weather.
I woke up on like Saturday morning with pink eye, and I had to drive in a snowstorm to get my like fucking like eye drops, and I couldn't see like the green light that was like 10 yards in front of me.
Jesus Christ, that's brutal.
I couldn't see the like the lanes. I almost went down a one way.
Wow. So you're probably going like 10 miles per hour down the whole way. Probably like an hour to get.
It's going like 25. Yeah. Maybe like max speed, but like if I was going any faster, like my car would start to swerve.
Jesus.
But anyway, the Golficity guys are out in Orlando, so I mean,
must be nice. I mean, so last week I was at PGA National, so I went from about 80 degrees to 30 degrees to like 10 degrees. So
wait, have we talked about that on the podcast yet? Like
so we talked about my first like 2 rounds, but I did play the third day at the champion course at PGA National. Right. So that's like where they play the Honda Classic. They've had a PGA Championship there, Ryder Cup there, so it's like pretty prestigious course, I would say. Whichever.
Wait,
so
my
dad
Ryder
and
Cup there?
Yeah.
That's weird.
In the 80s, I think maybe. My dad and I had the first tee time on the course, so like 7 a.m. So we.
How was your caddy?
Our caddy was good. He was like the same age as us. Shout out to Liam, our caddy.
Is he gonna be listening? Do you tell him to listen?
I have no clue. Maybe. So we had the first tee time out there. Whatever, light rain. Like they're just like, it's just like some morning showers. Like it'll be gone in a little bit. It started pouring out by the second hole, like absolutely pouring out.
Jeez, especially when you're playing a course like that. So
yeah, it was pouring for like the first like 5 or 6 holes or whatever, and then it like got sunny or whatever. But like you would hit balls and they plug, or you hit ball. Like I would rather hit from the rough than the fairway sometimes because it's just so wet. So like it was a rough first couple holes, and the funny part is the greens were still like rolling like very fast.
Oh yeah, but
even though it was raining, which whatever, I like figured it out and actually putted pretty decent.
I was watching your video that you posted, and that putt, you tapped that, and that was like, it went flying.
That was honestly one of my worst, so that was the Bear Trap 15. That was one of my worst putts of the day. Like I was putting really well, like to gimmies or to like short. I don't know, I just didn't read that one right, I guess. But the greens were rolling really fast. I forget what he said they were rolling at, but it was incredibly speedy. When we got to the Bear Trap, I was playing like the middle tees, whatever, like the blues, I think. When we got to the Bear Trap, I played all 3 of those holes at the tips. So 15.
How far was it from the tips? Those 3 holes.
Honestly, it's not that far. It's the wind that gets you a little bit, but like on 15, I think it was only like 180 from the tips. It was like a right to left wind though, so I hit it like up in the air, and the wind just kind of took it left.
What did you take, a 5 iron?
180. I hit like a 6 iron maybe. Wind took it left. I was like pin high, but whatever. I had a pretty shitty chip in, and then I missed the putt, and then I made one for bogey. My dad playing from the tees up a little bit. He actually parred the first hole at the Bear Trap.
Wow, really?
Shout out. He wanted a shout out for that. So
go Peter.
Whatever. Then we got to the second one. Was that the par 4, where you can't really hit more than a driver or whatever. I hit a 4-iron, put it in the middle.
How can you hit more than a driver?
You can't really hit more than you can't really hit a driver. I mean, you could probably hit a driver, but like, I hit a 4-iron, put it in the middle. My second shot, I don't even remember. My second shot went like left, chipped on, and then 2-putted, so I bogeyed that one again, I think.
You double the last one?
Yeah, and then I doubled
honestly,
the
not
last
that bad.
one. Then
it's not bad at all.
That
No.
bad. I think my dad played it a stroke better than me just because of the first hole, but and he was playing the tees up a little bit further.
Yeah.
Okay,
the third one was another par 3. They had stands, like they're building the stands as we're going because it's like a month away from the Honda.
Yeah.
Right, I saw that.
So they're building the stands. And on that hole there was like a guy with a golf cart, like kind of in front of the green, whatever. And we like had to wait for them to clear, but he left the golf cart there. So my first one I hit like on the stands, literally. Whatever. So if you hit it on the stands, you get a free drop. I've done it. Or set.
I saw in Harbortown we did that. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
you would have killed somebody.
Yeah, probably.
Or at least given them a souvenir.
My dad like shanked it all the way to the left too. Like he would have killed somebody too. So I like got a free drop. I didn't know where to drop it because there's like the stands, a bunker, and then like there's that like drop area where you drop it. But the cart was parked in the drop area. So like I didn't, and like our cart was parked like behind the stands. So like I kind of brought like I thought I was gonna do like a little chip with like an iron or something. So I didn't bring like a wedge to go over the golf cart. So I had to like do a weird like chip shot like through like under the golf cart or like around the golf cart, and it was just
under the golf cart.
It was a disaster. I was like, I wonder if that golf cart.
This is not a situation that Jeek flourishes in. Just anything with like uncomfortability.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So like I just didn't understand. Anyway, so like I had to chip it like kind of far away from the hole and ended up doubling it. But honestly, still not awful for the bear trap. I'll take it.
I hear you're doing some promotion of the podcast around the resort.
Yeah, a little bit. We got some nice promotions. When I was posting stories, you might have seen that the PGA National was like reposting our stories. So it was a good trip. I think I ended up shooting like a 98 that day, considering
that's not bad for that
kind of not awful. Course. And like my game is not at its peak right now. Like I lost my drive for a little bit, and like I just like I wasn't really hitting the ball well until like the last day. So
I also saw, unrelated to that, but like I saw the Golf City guys they're obviously in Orlando for the PGA show, and they're playing with Zach Bradford, if you know who that is. He's like a big stinger guy, and I think he's like some sort of professional. He plays with GM Golf a lot.
I saw a story about him hitting the stinger on one of the holes today.
Him and Andrew Jensen, I think both of them like play with GM Golf quite a bit.
I know Jensen plays with GM Golf a lot.
Yeah, and Bradford plays with them a lot. He like plays with them like in like that like short little like junior course like all the time.
The junior course is
yeah.
Whatever. I think they're doing an interview with. I think they're doing an interview with Bob Vokey this week. Vokey Wedges.
Big things coming. Honestly, I'm excited. I bet honestly this is like one of the biggest weeks for like gaining like followers and stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Everyone in golf besides us is down in Florida at this PGA.
Yeah, besides
we're people. We could be down there. Like, hey, listeners, we're important enough to be down there. But
we got invited.
Like debatably.
we did get invited.
We did cop the invite, but education, man.
Yeah, we're still in college.
Well,
sucks. Anyway, let's move on to the golf this weekend. I got the opportunity to watch like some of it, but I did see like the last couple holes, and Abraham Answer first of all on the last day.
Beast.
Where's the last one played? Where's the last one played? Last round. Which course?
Stadium course.
Stadium. He shot 9 under 63 course record, and he still lost to Adam Landry because Adam Landry on like the last 2 holes went birdie, which is 2 like absolutely beautiful approach shots. On like 17 was a par 3, and he put
at the Island Green par 3, he still put it 6 feet away.
Yeah, put like 6 feet away. 18's par 4. His approach shot was like still 6-7 feet away. Canned both of the putts, and won by 2 strokes, even though Abraham Ancer had an insane day.
I mean, that's like
Yeah.
that was one of those tournaments like the winner like final round was gonna be crucial, and you knew they were gonna shoot 25 under, 27 under, something like that. I think it's what Landry shot.
26
I think
under.
Landry ended
26
up
under.
26.
Yeah, like those 9, even having 9 under round like that, it's like even depending how far back you are, it's even like having a course record round like that. It's tough to come back.
I don't
Landry
like.
still won by 2 shots.
No, he still
Ancer
won by
went
2
9
shots.
under.
9 under round, he won by 2 shots.
Whichever. Guys were
being
going
honest.
low early in the week at La Quinta,
Yeah.
which was, I mean, like we knew
Of
that was going to
course.
happen.
Honestly, it looked like Ricky was gonna win. When I was watching earlier in the week,
early
on, he was like just firing on all cylinders, just birdieing everything. He had like a 9 under day. Finau had a 10 under day.
Yeah, and whatever. Then Scotty Scheffler got hot for a
Scotty
couple
Scheffler
days.
got
I
so
thought he was.
hot.
I thought going into the last round he was going to be the one that won, but he didn't really have. I think he only. I mean, he went 2 under on the
2
last
under,
day, which is
yeah.
not bad.
Well,
But,
Ricky
like, that
in
wasn't
the
good
last day
enough.
only finished 1 under. Like that.
Ricky was only 1 under. Yeah.
Yeah, he was only 3 or 4 off the lead. We start the day. Like if he had around like even like Landry or Ancer, like he could have like definitely been right there.
Yeah, it was.
Sam Burns
it's
also
like,
shot 9 under that day too.
I'm just not a big like low scoring tournament guy. Like I just don't find it fun to just like see everybody just birding every single par 5, like birding.
Well, you
like,
have to remember. You
More
have to remember
carnage.
this week was a pro-am week, so the course had to be a little bit easier.
yeah, I mean it's just in general though, not my favorite to watch.
Did you see that? Did you see that one-handed golfer hit a hole-in-one like during the
That was
pro-am?
insane.
Mm-hmm.
That was so cool. That was a rocket too, like line drive,
Yeah.
like would have gone way past the hole, but like just was right directly
like, hit the
on
hole.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hit the pins,
Yeah.
dropped.
Hit the pin and dropped. That was sick though. Like I wonder how far I could hit it with like. I wonder. I think he used like a
can't think about doing
hybrid or
that.
something. Yeah, I don't know.
I can't do that.
I mean, I
do
think
both.
he was only born with one arm. I think so. Like
he's
he
used to
started
it.
golfing at 11, so I think like probably like 50 years of golf. He's
Yeah, he's used to it. He's definitely got some experience with the one hand.
but like I'm looking forward to this next week because like it's gonna be a lot. Like I don't think it will be as easy.
No, it's
Yeah,
definitely not.
definitely
Torrey
not.
Pines, no.
I mean, it's the longest. We'll get into the course preview and stuff, but it's like the longest course of the on the PGA like rotation every year. So
And it's just one of those like iconic courses. Like they're playing U.S. Open there next year. Played obviously when Tiger won it back in 2008. But
on one
like
foot,
it's a
on
very
one leg.
Yeah, on one leg. So like it's a very historic course. And it's a awesome field too. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
to watch.
I was
I mean, I
doing some research and I saw that like he beat Rocco Mediate in the playoff, and I
Yeah.
heard that name and I was like, wow, that's a throwback.
long,
I mean-
long time ago.
Golf, like the conditions aren't going to be as hard as a U.S. Open would be.
Oh, obviously no.
I think
No.
Justin Rose won it at 21 under last year, so
I mean, but it's
that's just
it's
a number
still
to put out there.
it's still
When
just
you're on
like
the
they're-
water though, like you never know what the weather's gonna be like.
Yeah,
Right.
that's also true. Like the weather, but also at the same time, it's not. It's a much better tournament to watch than the American Express, and like much better field.
But just a
Yeah.
little golf news. I don't even know if I'd call it PGA news. We had John Smoltz using this like the standalone putter at the Diamond Resort Tournament of Champions. I saw so many weird
I thought it
celebrities
was
playing here.
so.
I saw
fun.
Larry the Cable Guy playing it. in that
Yeah,
tournament.
I remember seeing him play golf too.
Yeah, but John Smoltz comes out here with what I could assume was the S7K. I'm not really sure how upgraded his bag is.
I'll
They don't
say
do
it looked like it was like a reddish kind of
Yeah,
color.
so I don't know if
I
it
didn't think it
was.
was that exactly, but it looked like literally after we talked about the
concept,
promos last
the
week.
con-
Yeah,
Yeah, I
same
know.
concept.
They must have heard us.
Yeah, they must have must have heard us and tried it out for us. out
Maybe
there.
he had
I
the
mean-
T-Less driver too. Who knows?
He probably did, honestly.
I don't
And
think they have whatever wedge made it 250 to 400%
Yeah.
spin.
was it the spin doctor?
The spin doctor. Yeah, I don't think they have what's in the bag for like amateurs. So
No.
Probably not.
I don't think you'll know. we'll never know. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Also, kind of not big news, but like Zach Johnson, Davis Love, are expected to be the vice captains for the 2020 Ryder Cup wrestling at Whistling Straits with Steve Stricker as the captain. We're like, I feel like I never realized how close we are to like
The Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cups and President Cups every year. Like,
right, yeah.
it just
'Cause
sneaks up.
every other year.
Well, it's nice because like the President's Cup was played in December, so that means we're already like there's only like 9 more months till the Ryder Cup. Like it's not like there's like we have to wait a whole year for that again. Like we're already like pretty like decently close.
Yeah, we are. And I mean, is it the same like scoring system? Not scoring system, like
Yeah,
qualification system.
Alternate shot, like all that. Qualification, yeah.
Qualification, yeah. There's like the 8 locks and like the captain's picks too.
Yeah.
But
No,
I mean, like
I didn't mean
Zach,
scoring. I meant qualification. Yeah.
yeah, but like Zach Johnson, co-captain of the President's Cup. Davis Love has been captain of the Ryder Cup team or President's Cup team. I'm not sure which one it was, but
Yeah,
both
it's
of
the
them
same,
are
like,
very, very, very experienced.
I'm assuming Zach Johnson will not be a playing captain.
I don't think
Probably
he will.
not.
No, there's no unless he like wins a major and like or like something. Like, no, not even like.
He's past his prime, but he's probably not gonna be playing captain.
And Davis Love the third is far past.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's
He's a little a little bit out of his prime too. But then we see Justin Rose with the equipment deal. Axis One Golf.
Never.
What
heard
is
of
that?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Never-
Does
I've
anyone know
never-
what that is?
Nope, never heard of
It could be a S7K putter for all we know.
Have we
Yeah,
found out?
it's-
Is that even legal? Is the S7K legal on tour? Have we found that out?
I doubt it's legal. There's so much stuff that's like not legal on there. Like you can't like these wedges my dad and I had were square groove wedges and like they were banned. I think either last year or the year before on on tour.
Not to be confused with Square Strike.
Yeah, square groove.
Right. Yeah, our favorite.
Square group.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of brings up the question that I mean, we're not gonna have a part 3 segment this week, but this is like, kind of similar, but like it's only one. What equipment deal would you want if you were to sign one of all of them?
Personally, I would choose TaylorMade, just because I think they have the best clubs. I would also want like I'd rather have Titleist balls than TaylorMade balls.
I was gonna say, yeah, I have played the other Trevor, the shorter one, with the jawline, uses TP5s, and I liked them, I guess, but I like Pro V1s better.
See, there's such like I think TP5s are really, really good, but there's like a certain, not like prestige, but like you just like you go out there, you feel like you know what you're doing if you're out there with new Pro V1s or something.
I
like
love
that.
opening a new pack of Pro V1s.
You feel like you're
off.
I might go with like if I'm like a tour professional, I might go with Callaway. Like they have very good drivers and wedges.
They do. They have good balls.
They have like they're good balls, and then like Callaway Epic, like their irons don't look that bad either. So I might.
I feel like that's pretty much like your bag. You have the Callaway driver.
I have Titleist irons though.
You do have Titleist irons, yeah.
Yeah, I have AP1s, so.
I mean, until I got my new 3-wood, I was all TaylorMade for years on my clubs, like years and years. Like I had like the Rocket Balls and the M2 and the M4.
I have the Rocket Balls irons.
Rocket Balls on TBT.
You're getting new irons soon.
They'll be out of the bag soon enough. I don't know what irons I'm gonna get. I guess I can kind of choose what route I'm gonna go.
If I had enough money though, I would like if I was like Rory or Koepka or Tiger or something like that, like maybe sign like a ball deal with like Titleist maybe. But like other than that, like you can pick like those guys pick whatever club they want pretty much. I guess not Rory.
Like if you're a tour professional, I don't think the ball makes much of a difference. It's all about preference though for those guys.
They have preference,
they want to do one thing with the ball, and like, but for us, it's not a big difference at all.
That's like, I mean, unrelated, but like in baseball, like obviously, like if you're good enough, like the bat, like doesn't matter, but it's just like a personal preference thing. It's the same thing with drivers, like
definitely it's feel and
like it's not gonna make a difference unless like certain specs of whatever it is, like
it's all about it's about
I'm just gonna say
look too, like you have to
I'm just gonna say the club. the club is more important to the ball than the ball. Like the club you have a legitimate feel with. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
there's feel with the ball too, but I think the club is more important. So if you're
Yeah,
settling,
you have to.
if you're
You
picking
have
a
to,
club, if you're picking a deal, you're picking it on the club, and then you just get whatever ball you have.
you
You
have
know?
I
to
mean,
you have to like one of the main things for me is like I have to look down like I have to like what I'm looking at like as a club, to be honest.
the
I have to look
Sim,
down. Yeah,
the new Sim 3 hybrid, I'm having dreams about it. I need that. I mean, I have a 3 hybrid that I like right now, so I'm like not gonna get it. But like these quotes that I'm hearing about it, I've brought it up like the past 2 weeks. I need to try it at least next time we're at like Golf Galaxy.
Are Rory and DJ using it this week? Do you know?
They
It's one of
probably
the
will if you think so. If you think about the
Hey,
course
if-
in general, it's a long course.
Yeah,
The
you're
south
right.
side.
So yeah, I think
We'll
they
see.
might. I mean, yeah. If I had to guess, because they're doing it like based off the course, like choosing whether they are, I would guess this is a week that they would bring it out, which would be interesting to watch actually
Oh, it definitely will.
this week.
Would anyone
And
use Would anyone use PXG?
I guess we'll talk about that. That brings us into our Twitter fan questions. Let's look up what the name of the guy who wanted us to talk about them. Give him a little shout out. But yeah, he wanted us to talk about PXG. His name's at 3putt only. Has 211 followers. Not bad. More than us on Twitter. And he asked us to just talk about the new PXG irons, and we looked him up, and this was the quote that PXG gave out on their new irons. Our new 0311 Gen 3 irons are drop dead sexy and deliver an incredible combination of distance, forgiveness, accuracy, a sweet spot larger than Texas, and feel so soft it's like spreading warm butter on a hot biscuit. Oh my.
This is like
Oh
like
my.
there's market and there's like this is I think this is just too much.
Yeah.
This is too much.
If they weren't such a prestigious brand, we're not prestigious, but like, how would you describe it? Like, luxurious brand, I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe.
luxury brand.
Yeah,
Luxury,
expensive.
like if I see someone, if I'm catching for someone, I see someone as PXGs, I'm like, okay, like that's pretty like that's pretty nice. Yes.
I mean,
No,
do you want to hear which tour pros actually use PXGs?
Yeah.
Sure.
Isn't like really.
This is the list. Zach Johnson, Pat
Yeah. How about
Perez,
that?
Billy Horschel, our guy Ches Reavie.
I forgot
James,
about that.
James
I know
Hahn,
that.
Ryan Moore, Scott Langley, and Wyndham Clark. Those are the pros that use PXG.
So it's not huge names, but like Zach Johnson's a pretty big name.
Yeah, a major winner.
Yeah, like if you're a golf fan, you know who Pat Perez, Ryan Moore.
And if you listen to this podcast, you know Ches
Reavie is. Yeah.
I don't see PXG unless they become a more affordable brand, becoming like
I agree.
anything big in the golf world, because like to become like guys have brand loyalty coming up like through like youth and like college, and unless like they're using it growing up, I don't think you just like switch to PXGs. Like any pro golfer could be sponsored by PXG if they wanted to.
Yeah, and they
have brand loyalty to whatever they used growing up or something.
Exactly.
Or used in college.
Unless they're getting paid a ton of money, like they're not gonna just like drop. Like they're actually gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna switch. Like
I don't know how.
And it's not like they're better. It's not like they're better than the other brands.
No,
for an amateur level
they have to
status, like why would I get PXGs when I could get Titleists that do the same thing?
If I was PXG, I'd find like a young up and coming guy, like maybe like. No, you can't like obviously you can't offer them like an equivalent deal or anything like that. But you got PXG has to find that like one guy to like put their brand like on the map too. Because like right now they all
Honestly,
they kind of came out in like the middle of like always like Titleist and like TaylorMade and everything like that. And like if they like get like one young guy, and, like he's like a star, like it could make a difference for them.
I think the two things they could do is one, obviously, make them more affordable, but I don't know if that's really an option for them. I don't know how their business works. But the second one could be like sponsoring college teams, maybe.
Potentially.
Yeah, I know you
like
can definitely
powerhouse teams like Oklahoma State,
yeah,
Oklahoma,
Stanford.
Alabama, Stanford, yeah.
All those, yeah.
I mean,
I know. I guess that could definitely work. Yeah.
because that's how you build the brand loyalty. Maybe we should work for PXG and their marketing.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
We're just giving them free
So
advice
PXG,
right now.
so PXG, if you're listening to this, reach out to us.
Straight
To
from
be
the
honest,
mind.
I'm not a fan of the way their irons look. That's just me.
They're
I
like
I think it looks cool.
I think there's something about like maybe like on the screen doesn't look as cool as like it would, but like if you see them like in person, you're like those are really cool irons.
And
Like,
they all look like wedges to me, like the Callaway wedges.
There was a PXG iron in the Lost and Found at the golf course I was working at this past summer, and it was not an it was like I think it was like a 9 iron, so like I couldn't do that much with it, but like I went out to the par 3, like I think it's like the ninth hole, like right behind the pro shop at like right when everybody was leaving, and I hit it once with a ball, and I mean I didn't do anything special with it probably, but just like having it in your hands, like you're like, this is sick.
some of those like some people in my club had the black PXG irons, and they just look so so fresh.
Oh, that was what Pat Perez uses, yeah.
Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
fresh. They look very
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, I couldn't see myself ever pulling the trigger on
No,
PXG.
I can't. No, there's probably better clubs
Maybe
you could
not
use
better,
for a lot.
but
Yes.
just like
yeah, it doesn't
for
even
the
like
price, for the price, like
nobody,
value.
It hasn't improved that they're like better or anything like that. But like I trust TaylorMade and Titleist more than that trust.
because if you save
Here's
the
the
extra money,
value.
you save the extra money getting different clubs that aren't PXGs, you could buy like another club, like
Exactly.
a driver, maybe not a driver, but like a hybrid or a wedge or something.
I mean, even their putters. I've looked at their putters just for like, and their shirts too. I looked at a shirt, a PXG shirt. It was like
I even never had a shirt.
$75 or something.
That's like nobody's gonna buy that. Nobody's gonna buy $175 shirts for PXG.
And I think the only thing they have going for them is that it's a luxury brand, and some people just like, especially in the United States, just like are snobby, like rich people who like to show off that they can like buy luxury and like exclusive items like that.
Mhm.
But other than that, I don't know. But yeah. And then we had another question about
Speaking of luxury, and
oh yeah, I guess, and
Yeah.
it was about let me pull out the exact question. It was, why can't people play the top clubs in America? Like in Scotland you can play St. Andrews or whatever, but America you can't just play Winged Foot, you can't just play Augusta. But yeah, that was from Steve Kemlow. And I think the simplest way to answer this one is like, people in America, as I just said, are like snobby, and like, why do you think all of our courses look so like groomed and like absolutely perfect compared to Scotland, where like that's not really like what it's like over there?
well, I think one of the big things is like the golf course in Scotland, like that's like the town. Like the golf course is like a park, and like you can, like my dad played St. Andrews over the summer, and he said at like 11 o'clock at night when it's still like kind of light out, he's like out there walking on the course, people are playing golf like around him or something like that. Like you can walk your dog, and like people like you don't have to worry about saying like, oh, don't hit near me or whatever like that. You don't have to worry about people being obnoxious like as they're like walking, like doing some like casual like that. It's just,
I think in general, just Americans are more obnoxious, like as a whole.
Yeah, as like,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the whole private club thing in America. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's people-
pay to play. I have to pay to play this. No one else could play this course. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not naming names, but like there's a country club in New Canaan that might not have that the town's name in it that is pretty much like that. Not gonna name names though. New Canaan Country
yeah,
Club.
like, great job.
But yeah, I mean, it just kind of has a reputation for that, and I think like a lot of like American like private country clubs like that are just so snobby, and like that's why they don't want like random people playing on their course.
no,
I mean,
like,
even if
and,
you
like,
if you look into like a trip to like Scotland or something like that, like obviously it's expensive, but it's really not as expensive as you would think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that being said, like you can play Pebble, but it's gonna cost you like a fortune. It's gonna cost you $250 or something like that to play around.
More than that.
More, yeah, it's maybe the like.
but there's only so many like great championship public courses you can play, and United States. Like in Scotland, you can play like literally every single open course.
All of
probably.
them.
All
Yeah.
of them. And here you play there's Pebble, there's Bethpage, Pinehurst, and like
I was gonna say
Torrey
that's what's so
Pines.
awesome about Bethpage. Like the location makes it so like people from Long Island, Connecticut, New
Yeah,
Jersey,
everyone
like
goes
they
there.
can all play there. It's the
Mhm.
People's Country Club. Like that's what's
It's
so
just
cool
about
about
it's
that.
just about getting the tee time,
Yeah, which isn't.
Yeah.
which is pretty hard when you don't live in New York.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Steve Kemlow's from, but like if I could, he's a member at St. Andrews Golf Club
Makes
and
sense.
Downfield Golf Club. That's pretty cool. I was imagining he was an American, but I guess like yeah, if this guy was or someone like him was to come over to America and want to play some courses,
It's different culture.
I mean,
You kind of just got to go to one place. Kind of like how I went to
I was gonna
PGA
say-
National last week, or like Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like tour around and play them all.
because nothing's that close to like what's close to Bethpage is like a pristine. I guess Trump links.
But, yeah, but there's also like
and-
deal with like clubs. There's like a lot like people have the clubs so they can do it. Like people are not just playing golf at like some of these clubs. Like Grand, like Winged Foot and like
yeah.
all the big country clubs are like most of it's just for golf. But like people, there's
That's a good
family
point.
clubs too. Like
That's a good point. It's like
Tennis.
it's much more than just golf.
yeah, it's
Golf
much
is
more-
like a added and bonus. Like,
yeah, but
it's a lot of like it's built around golf though. But
when you think of country, when you think of club, you think of golf, but there's a
It's
lot
like a
more.
stat-
There's a lot more to it. There's like there's a big social aspect to the country club.
Which
like a
whatever in
status
America.
thing.
Yeah, in America, like that's what gives it the prestige. Like,
Yeah.
club gets its prestige. Like the Augusta, for example, gets its prestige because it's like impossible to play if you're not a member there. And it's impossible to get a membership there, which makes it even more of a like prestige type thing.
Yeah, but like Trevor said, it's a good point. It's social. Like there's a social aspect to it. There's like a status aspect to it.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And you go like I know my parents like, and like I like my past like 10 summers have been literally I'm at the club every single day because my dad plays golf, my mom plays tennis. Like I used to go to the pool when I was little. play
Yeah, if
golf
you're gonna
every day now.
have a
It's-
membership, like you make
yeah,
your
you do a lot more than just golf.
yeah, and you also get your money's worth by like actually using it. There's no point in belonging to it if you're not gonna go.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, if you're gonna come to America, like if you want to go to our area, like Bethpage, Trump Links, by what's it? Is it called Trump Links?
Very point.
Trump Links, Ferry Point. What are some other good public? I don't know.
Pound Ridge is good.
Pound Ridge,
near
Pete
us.
Dye course, yeah. So you could put together a pretty decent trip in like the greater
Yeah,
New
but
York
then
area.
but the price of that
The
is
price
like
is
over
gonna
$100
be
over $100 for every round of golf that you play. Like Bethpage is not
Way
that
over.
expensive, which
Bethpage
is like
the best
which is
value.
pretty
you can
good.
get.
but it's hard to get a tee time. So
Yeah, but the Bethpage is definitely the best value for a golf course near us.
I mean, if
My-
you're
my-
if you're a New Yorker, like it costs even less. It's like great value.
Yeah, but like you're gonna spend if you do that and you don't go to like you don't book like a package somewhere at like a resort like you did. You're gonna be spending ton of money on a hotel, ton of money on food, transportation to all these places, like renting a car or something, or like taking Ubers. Plus,
Golf's
Trump
the
Links
most
costs,
expensive part.
what, $300, like $250 at least, like maybe Twilight even $250, as well. Like yeah, so you're just gonna spend a lot of money if you're doing that. I'd say
Like when you
if
go to
have the money,
Europe and
though,
you go
like,
to
you're pretty safe.
Scotland, it's not that much money to play like the top golf courses. Like it obviously costs a lot, but it's not that much money. So
comparatively.
yeah, so that's just a big difference.
So let's, on that note, move on to the Farmers Insurance Open. We're going to swing it over once again to Greg Catalano, our course preview correspondent, and
that would be me.
get started.
All right. So this week we have Torrey Pines out in San Diego. I have lost the sheet. There we go. This week they're going to be playing at the two courses, like as opposed to a major where they would only play at the south course, but they're going to be on the north and the south. On Thursday and Friday they will alternate. So some will be on the north, some will be on the south, and then the next day they'll be on the opposite. Um, the South course is the championship course, the major course. They're gonna play the last 2 rounds on the South course as well. Um, the South course is known as being the longest course in the regular PGA Tour rotation. So like every year, like they play this course every year, so it's the longest one. Which makes it obviously better for longer hitters and people who have very good long iron play are going to do a lot better on the South course because the greens are very small. Um, the North course is a little bit easier, larger greens, and the holes are shorter, but the fairways are still very hard to hit. Just other important stats to look at this week are strokes gained, ball striking, par fives gained. So like just par five scoring is going to be important this week. Driving distance, par fours gained because the par fours are longer this week than there will be any other week, and strokes gained around the green because a lot of people are going to end up coming up short with their long irons and they're going to need to have good short game around the green. Just another interesting fact is 10 of the last 14 winners at Torrey Pines have been inside the top 30 of driving distance. So like I said, this week's gonna favor long hitters, people with good short game, and like just good play around the greens and good long iron play.
Yeah, and I think I saw a stat at the South course that even though like you gotta like hit the fairway, like obviously like it's better to hit the fairway, but like the scrambling's at 52%, which I think is decent. So like it also says something. I heard something that said like shorter drivers, as long as they're accurate with their long irons, like will be fine.
Right, exactly.
Of course, because the rough is probably really thick there too.
Yeah, pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to our DFS picks. Like last week, my 2 picks were both cut, Phil and Harold Varner. I thought Phil was going to do a lot better than he did. He pumped up with his speech about hidden bombs. So I guess that's just my bad.
He did crush a couple. They kept showing him because he was the tournament host.
Although that was the case, I think it's notable to mention in 2020. So the Century Tournament champions, the Sony Open, and this week on the American Express, I've been picking matchup picks that like sports books release throughout the tournament, and I'm 16, 7, and 1, and that's hitting I think at like a 70-ish% clip, which is unheard of. Yes, unheard of. So
I mean, it's very easy to expose. It's very easy to expose matchups if you look at them.
Yeah. So if you want me to post those, I mean, I'll probably still do it anyway, but give us a Twitter mention and we'll get those to you every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is. But yeah, so if you guys want to go over your picks.
Yeah, so last week I actually had a pretty good week. Scotty Scheffler ended up in third. I'm pretty sure he was the leader after the third day. Ended up not shooting as low on the last day, and like a couple people surged. So third's a good place for him though, especially at the salary that he was at. So not disappointed in that at all. Matt Wolff ended up T61, which whatever he made the cut. He had a pretty good first day, but kind of just was around even par the rest of the days. But still played pretty well. Didn't get cut, so I'll take it.
And I had Sung J M, which my big one. He was one of the favorites of the week, and so him finishing T10, I think was for his salary. I think is like it's not the best, but it's decent. It's good enough, I think. And my shot in the dark, Bronson Burgoon, T43, made the cut. Didn't play bad all week, but nothing special. Nothing's gonna separate him. Nothing to get him top 20. So
I think it might be worth it to just like throw like to continue. I haven't done it, but throw a future every week that Sung J M is playing, because he's been playing insane. Just like
he's
this
bound
past
to win
year,
one. You're right.
This year he's bound to win one. I know there's one guy at Barstool throws something on Finau every single week, which is so tough.
Every week?
Like, yeah, like that's
fun
because he's scared to not
to like
stop
hop off and then Finau wins.
Because then
right?
Tony Finau would win like right when he hops off. So he's just like continually doing it, which might put a dent in your wallet if you're backing someone like Tony Finau, who comes in second like every week. So moving on to our picks this week.
Well, I guess I'll go first because speaking of Tony Finau, he's one of my picks this week at 9,300. So T14 last week, known as a long hitter. He's actually been playing pretty well this year. Like, didn't really think about it, but he actually is when you look at the stats. He's third in strokes gained around the greens, which is going to be important this week, and he's second in strokes gained tee to green. So I think Tony's going to have a good week this week. I think this course plays well to his game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's looking at those stats, like, and looking at what we said were important. Tony, I mean, and he had a 10 under round this week, I think.
Right, he got hot this week.
Jeez.
He got hot. Yeah. And I was watching like the earlier part of his round before he went off, because he was actually one of my matchup picks against like Phil, and he went 10 under and Phil went 1 under. And that same day I had like Ricky Fowler over Molinari. Molinari shot even, Ricky shot 9 under. So just an example of exposing those matchups.
You should really start giving out to some of those picks. Like,
I should start giving those out. But watch, like, as soon as I start giving them out, like, they just start losing.
Yeah.
That's like me with my UFC picks.
Yeah. Yep. Conor McGregor this weekend was. We don't need to talk about Conor McGregor. Yeah, that was insane. I guess I'll go second. I got Carlos Ortiz at 6,900. This is like, I mean, 69. Anytime you got someone below 7,000 that you're actually like pretty confident in, it's like good to have. He's top third in driving distance gained, which driving distance is obviously very important this week. He's top 20 around the greens, which if you're driving distances long this week, you'll be like around the greens, like not too far out. And he's 10th in par fours gained from 450 to 500 yards, which is the range that like a lot of the par fours are this week. And I forget what's the putting surface called this year. It's like this tournament. POA.
Yeah, POA. I think.
Yeah, that's his like. That's his best. That's his best like surface. He's gaining like a half a stroke, average when he putts on that. So
I wonder who like keeps track of that.
You gotta wonder. Probably some stat nerds, but we don't hate on the stat nerds. They make the world go round.
They make the picks easier.
Yes.
Speaking of that, stat nerds, I'll go with Sky Scheffler again, as Jake did last week. My first pick. He's top 10 on.
Trev likes to recycle picks.
I do. It's not on purpose at all. It's just like I go through the stats. I look at like who I like and salaries, and it worked. Like, doesn't do like it's not bad, but I've done that a couple of times this year. But he's top 10 ball strike in the PGA Tour, which, as you mentioned, is a key stat this week. He's top 5 in par 4 scoring average, and he finished third last week, and he's made all 8 cuts he's played in this year. So I think he's 8,800 salary right now. So I think at that the way he's playing, I think he's a pretty good bet to finish top 20 at worst. And then so I'll go with my next pick, Cameron Smith, who finished top 10 here last year, including a 7 under 65 final round on the South course. And as you said, par 4 scoring average is a big deal, especially with the longer par 4s. And he's 11th on tour in par 4 scoring average, 450 to 500 yards. And he's also 18th in par 4 scoring average overall. So I think they're both similar salary. Cameron Smith is 8,700, but there's a pretty good chance both of them finish top 20. I think Scheffler is a good bet to finish even better than that.
Yeah, and these aren't guys that like you got to make sure you stay away from like people who are picked like by 30% of the contest, because like
Rory.
I mean, like that's gonna, if they come in first, like it's necessary to have that person sometimes.
Yeah. But
it also doesn't do a ton for you, like as your like supporting guys do. So like those are two pretty good picks. Is it me?
Yeah.
Right. Snake drafts, they get me. Ryan Palmer is my next pick at 8,000. He finished well last year here. I think he was what did he finish at? T13, which is, that's gonna get you money. That's gonna make you finish pretty high. Like anytime you get someone like that who's complimenting like a Rory McIlroy or something like that. And he's just been playing like really well recently. I feel like all the tournaments that he's played in this year, he's just been like on fire. He's been coming top 10, top 5 a lot. So I'm going with him.
I guess he's really experienced too. He knows what he's doing out there. He's played this tournament multiple times. So
I mean, when he was at the Century Tournament of Champions, he's the oldest player in the field.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's been around for forever, so he knows his course probably like the back of his hand.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of going with a theme this week. So I'm gonna go Cameron Champ at 7,800, and I mean, obviously he was a PGA leader in driving distance last year, so long courses, and he also has pretty good play on irons. And just this year alone, he is first in strokes gained off the tee, which I didn't know. Like, he's been more accurate with his driver this year too. So not only is he hitting it far, he's hitting it down the center.
That's dangerous.
Which is dangerous. And he's finished T21 last week, which is not a bad week. And T14 at the Century Tournament of Champions. So he's had a pretty solid year. And like maybe if he just gets hot this week, this could be a good course for him to get a win at.
I wouldn't doubt it. He did get cut last year. Did you?
Well,
mention
yeah,
that?
but like it was like his third event last year. I mean, he was a rookie last year, so
experience, yeah, obviously, and now obviously he's more accurate with his driver. I think that's a good pick. So we're not gonna have a par three this week. We're honestly kind of running out of ideas. I bet we'll. I'd say par threes are coming to a close unless we start getting some ideas. In the Twitter mentions.
If you have
Instagram
any ideas,
DMs,
please let us know.
I might tweet that out. I might tweet that out like soon and just like try to get some par three ideas.
Yeah, put it on Instagram too.
I don't know where the majority of our listeners are, Twitter or Instagram, so maybe I'll put it on both. So other than that, we kind of glossed over the fact that Tiger Woods is playing this week.
Yeah, we kind of did.
It's a big deal.
His tournament, it was just kind of a given.
This is his tournament. It's like this course in Bay Hill are like these are his courses.
I mean, how do we think Tiger's going to do this week?
Well, last time he played was President's Cup, right?
He played well in the President's Cup.
Well, yeah, he played well in the President's Cup. But I don't think he does. Yes, I know he played well in the President's Cup. But if he finishes, I can see him. He'll make the cut, obviously, I think. But I don't think he's going to be maybe in the hunt for the championship, but like top 20 sounds about right.
Maybe.
I think historically he's been he's shown when he's been rusty.
Yeah, he's rusty.
And leading up to the President's Cup, he won the Zozo. That's why he was in a
he was playing his tournaments leading up to the President's Cup. And he was playing better.
I wouldn't expect him to do that well. I think it'll be fun to watch him though.
Well, yeah, he'll be in featured groups all week. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's going to get a lot of the media attention this week.
If he's in like the last couple groups in the contention, good for golf, good for all of us. So we get to watch that.
Watch out. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, maybe we're talking about a Tiger Woods victory at Torrey Pines, which nobody's a stranger to. Other than that, we'll see you next week. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Watch Jeek's new YouTube video at the Bear Trap. That was actually a really good video.
Don't want to miss that.
We'll see you next week.